I know it's been a little while since you've heard from me, so here I am again. Just going to jump right into a topic. This is my second take for this video, and the last time I kind of rambled a little bit too much, and I tried to fit too much into one video, and it was getting really long, and I didn't even get to the points I wanted to make, so I'm just going to jump right in. And what I want to talk about right now is what I promised in the description of my last poem that I posted, The Path. I told you all I would talk a little bit about the meaning I was going for when I wrote it. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I think that interpretation is a great thing to talk about, and I've kind of wanted to bring it up on YouTube for a while. So, here goes. Definitely, most people would agree that you're kind of looking for two things when you are working on interpreting a piece of literature, particularly a poem. I think they lend themselves to interpretation a lot more than other pieces of literature. And you really want to understand what it means to you and where it grabs you in your mind and your emotions, and you want to try and get at what the author was going for. So what I was really hoping would happen with that poem, and what I think was fairly successful, was both that I would not have been too cryptic for anyone to get a little bit of an understanding where I was coming from, and also that it would mean something to other people. And I was really, really happy to see that people seemed to understand it enough that it wasn't just a confusing jumble of words. I did worry about that. So I'm happy that my enjoyment of the poem wasn't mine alone, that other people enjoyed it. That really meant something to me. So, when I wrote it, it was an assignment for my freshman literature course last year in the fall. We were in our poetry unit, and my professor was talking a lot about place, where we are in society, where we are physically, and he told us he wanted us to write a poem using place. And that was all he said. He didn't really give us anything else to work with in the assignment. So I was on my own, and I had a few days to write this piece. And I was walking through a library, in fact, that was a good call, Ken RG, and looking at all the books, because I'm fascinated by old books. And something popped into my head about the leaves of a page, and of course that got my creative juices flowing, and I started thinking about, oh, leaves on a page, it's a room full of books, just these shelves, and kind of relating them to a forest. But the leaves aren't leaves, they are leaves of words, and I thought that was a really interesting theme to play with. And then when I got started writing, I started thinking about my job as a student of literature. So it also deals with my education, definitely, especially as a student of literature, and where I'm going with the books that I study. So that was kind of cool that people picked that up as well. I think mostly was Dancing with the Broom and Kenny Wrights, I believe, kind of jumped on that wagon. So that was cool that people kind of pulled that out of it. Anyway, and I was thinking about how much I enjoy it, and how haunting, how lost I can get when I'm in a library or in a good book, trying to choose an author to read. I'll usually get fascinated with an author and read a few of their books all in one stretch, and then I'll move on to somebody else. And I really love that. It's something that means something to me. It's enriching. But then I was also thinking about the fact that I wanted to attain sometimes some form of discipline, to choose an author to study and finish studying that author to some degree of satisfaction, and to move on, and to have themes and regulation to my studies so that I get something more constructive and structured out of it. And while that's not the most important thing, and I think getting lost in that forest of words is great, as I said, sweet allowances of momentary bliss, it's great. But I also want to build something, or this is what I was thinking about at the time, my place as a student was to build something lasting and structural that I could kind of form my life and my writing style and everything around. And many great authors say you need to find a person, an individual, to become kind of a student of, and I haven't done that yet. I'm still sort of wandering around on my path. So I guess those were the thoughts that were really predominant in writing this poem. So I thought it was really neat because a lot of people seemed to pull that out of it, and that was really neat. So thank you all for your wonderful responses, as well as the really great responses to the Lacking Passion video. Some people said some really sweet things. I got good messages and comments and all kinds of things, and I appreciate it to an extreme degree. I haven't written anything lately. Still struggling a little in that department, but once again I'm recognizing it as a bit of the ebb and flow and part of the cycle of being a creative individual, and knowing it'll come back. And I've got a few lines here and there, just nothing complete. I can't sit down and really come up with anything yet, but it's coming and going. So thank you all, very, very much. I appreciate your comments, your attempts at understanding my poetry, and very good attempts, might I say. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it has really helped me with my writing and just my confidence as a person. So thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.